What's going on, Lego Maniacs? It's Ty, the Lego guy here, and welcome to another Ty's Talks, a Q&A series. We're in episode 30. This one's a little bit of a hybrid. A lot of you guys have been asking me what my opinion is on the 90th anniversary sets, the Castle, the Explorer. We're gonna get into that. I'm gonna give you guys my opinion on those sets. And also, we have some good questions, including what's the best aged Lego minifigure, and what are my favorite Lego sub-themes, among some other good questions. And again, if you have questions for next Ty's Talks, just leave them in the comments and we'll get to them in episode 31. But enough talk, let's get right into it. And we'll start us off by just taking a look at some of these 90th anniversary sets. The first one being the Lion Knight's Castle. I'm gonna be straight with you guys. I think that it is an amazing castle set. It may be the very best castle Lego's put out. Some may think it's a little expensive since it is about 400 US, but bear in mind, you're getting over 4,000 pieces, in that model. It also has 22 minifigures. I think it's a pretty good value. And again, it has everything you'd want a castle set to have. I also love the fact that they're incorporating some of the other sub-themes like forestmen into, the castle. Some people find it a bit odd because it does have a queen instead of a king, but I actually think that that's a good thing, considering that I have a lot more Lego kings than I do have Lego queens, so it's something a little bit different. The amount of different rooms that are in the interior of the castle is also amazing. They have so many armories, a kitchen. They even have a little room that harkens back to the first Lego castle that was in yellow, and it's kind of like one of the minifigures is like playing with it. So overall, I'm a big fan of this set. I'm definitely going to buy it. It is a little expensive, unfortunately, but I think it is a fair value. It's just, it's gonna hurt the paycheck, but it's a model I really hope to get. And the next 90th anniversary set is the Galaxy Explorer. Again, much the same as the castle. I love how they're kind of mixing old with new. We have new building techniques, but they're still keeping to the old traditional space sets and, as far as how they looked. Love the fact that you can see 4 minifigures in the front. And then if you look at the back, or the middle of the ship, I should say, where they have the kind of like sleeping quarters for a minifigure, I thought that was great. It also has a little area in the back where you can stick a little rover. The set mixes old and new so well. And that's what I love about both the castle and this space set. I think that they're doing a fabulous job as far as these sets go. And last but not least, the little promo that they put out, the Forest Hideout, I just recently reviewed it. That may be my favorite promo Lego's ever put out. If you haven't watched it, go out and see it. If you're thinking about getting it or, putting through a big order and getting that set for free. The 3 90th anniversary sets they've put out, I really don't think that they could have been improved on. I think that, yeah, they are what we want as Lego fans. And I just thought I'd give you guys my take on this because I know you have been asking for a video like this. So I thought I could maybe throw it into the Ty's Talks because it is, or it does sort of fit because, they are questions. And I thought that this was a good platform to kind of answer them. Overall, very happy with all 3 of those sets. And I hope to sometime soon buy both the Castle and the Explorer. And getting into some of the questions, our first one comes from Karmabert Creations. And he says, who is better? A, Aqua Sharks, B, Hydronauts, C, Stingrays, D, Aqua Raiders. My least favorite theme that you mentioned here is probably going to be Aqua Raiders. They're not bad, but they don't really have that underwater futuristic space feel like the other 3, so they're my least favorite. Again, they're not terrible, they're just not my favorite. As far as out of the other 3, I'm probably going to go with Stingrays. Although it's very close. I also love Aqua Sharks. They come in at number 2. And Hydronauts at number 3. My all-time favorite Aqua Zone theme is going to be the Aquanauts. I think the blue and yellow just really pop. And they are the good guys as far as the underwater sub-themes are concerned. It is really close though. I love every single underwater theme that's been put out by Lego. And hopefully I can get some more of those Stingrays and Hydronaut sets along with the Aqua Sharks and get some reviews out for you guys. They are on my wanted list. It's just some of them are pretty expensive, but hopefully one of these days I'm able to get some of those sets. Mr. Blue says, question Ty, have you bought any new Lego sets? And yeah, I've bought quite a few actually. If you're interested, I just recently put out my Lego haul video. It's my largest one of 2022. And within that haul, I bought the Republic gunship. This has been on my wanted list for the last year or two, so I finally broke down and bought it. Spent too much money, but yeah, I recently did buy a number of new Lego sets. Matt asks, since when did you have 5K subscribers? I've clearly been gone longer than I thought. So yeah, we hit that milestone I think about 6 months ago, and I thought this was a good time to just say thank you guys. I appreciate all the support, all the comments, views. It really gives you a lot of motivation to keep going. And yeah, guys, I just wanted to say thank you. Do really appreciate it. Imperial Animations says, hey Ty, I have 2 questions. Firstly, what's your favorite place you have traveled to? Secondly, what's your favorite lightsaber hilt and design and blade color? Okay, so those are pretty good questions. The first question, my favorite place I've ever been is probably going to be Italy. There are some other contenders, but Italy just has amazing views, amazing food. I love the history too. Like, I'm actually a big history buff, and their history is amazing there. Their weather is also great. Overall, that's definitely my #1 place that I like. And if you guys are ever thinking of going on vacation, especially with COVID being kind of over, that would be the place I'd recommend you guys go. And as far as my favorite lightsaber hilt and blade, it's probably just gonna be blue. If you ever played Knights of the Old Republic, blue signified the Guardian class. Both Anakin and Obi-Wan were part of that class. And I always really, I liked the idea of the Guardians, that type of Jedi. As far as my favorite hilt, going to be very generic. It's just going to be Anakin Skywalker's, mainly because of that one scene where, Obi-Wan gives Luke Anakin's lightsaber. It just always kind of resonated with me, and the design of it's pretty cool as well. It's a nice looking lightsaber hilt. So yeah, good questions. That's probably what I'm going to go with. You really just can't beat Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber. Scott Davis says, hey Ty, if it's not too late for questions, what is one minifig you feel Lego got right on the first try, even if remakes were made later? Okay, so yeah, I thought that this was a really good one. Lego would probably like you to say that the R2 minifigures or the battle droids were the best ones they've put out because they haven't really improved on them in the last over 20 years. I'm not going to go with those. The one I'm going to go with is going to be the Darth Vader minifigure. When they brought him out in 1999, I think that he looked pretty accurate to what we see in the film. In fact, in some ways, I still kind of prefer the design of the older Darth Vader over the new one. That would definitely be the one minifigure that I wouldn't mind them just continuing with. What I like about the newer one is he is a bit taller, which makes him a little bit more accurate, but still, I think the older one looks pretty good, and he's also nostalgic. I really can't think of a minifigure that kind of beats him out and is, kind of like timeless. Mon says, why should you get tied? What are your favorite Lego sub-themes? How many minifigures do you need to change a light bulb? So I'm not sure how to answer the first one, but as far as the second one goes, my favorite Lego themes probably is obviously Lego Star Wars, and I'd also love Lego Western, Lego Space, Lego Castle, Lego Pirates, and Lego Adventurers. It's very difficult for me to kind of give out my top 5 themes just because those 6 are all really good. And then you have Aqua Zone, which I don't quite like as much as those top 6, but they're still right up there. Again, that's a tricky question to answer, but those are probably what I'm going to go with. And as far as your last one, how many minifigures do you need to change a light bulb? That would be very tricky. I don't know how they do that. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about how many minifigures it takes to change a light bulb. I'm kind of at a loss. Alpha Bricks channel asks, do you keep all your Lego boxes or only specific ones? And how do you store them? Okay, so when I was younger, unfortunately, I threw out all my boxes. So basically when I was 10 and younger, that's just what I did, which was really unfortunate because the 90s boxes were among the best in my opinion, because you could open up the flap and you could see inside because they had clear plastic. But they are kind of hard to store. They're not one of those that you really want to fold down. As far as nowadays, yeah, I keep every box that, I get with a set. But what I do is I do cut the tape and then I fold them down. I don't, obviously wreck the box. I just cut the tape and then I just, fold it. This is kind of how I kind of store them, as you guys can see in the video. It just makes more sense, especially as a Lego YouTuber. If you guys ever want to see the box, it's good to have it on hand. As far as if I keep duplicate boxes, no. So for instance, if I buy 10 battle packs, I'm going to throw away 9 of them, but keep the one. Hopefully that helps kind of answer that and gives you guys maybe an idea of how to store your Lego boxes. And our last question comes to us from the Unknown Brick, and he says, I've got a question. What are you more excited for? Galaxy Explorer, or castle? This is a tricky one, especially since you guys saw how much I love both those sets. But I'm probably gonna go with the castle. I just like Lego Castle a little bit more than I like Lego Classic Space, although it is close. But as far as which one I'm gonna buy first, it's probably gonna be the Explorer, just because I don't have to budget too much with that one. Whereas a $400 US set or a $500 Canadian set, that's gonna cost a bit more, right? So yeah, I do like, I guess how to answer that is I like the castle more, but as far as which one I'm gonna buy first, it's probably gonna be the Explorer, but it's a really difficult decision. But that pretty well does this Ties Talks. Again, guys, if you have questions for next Ties Talks, just leave them in the comments and we'll get to them in episode 31. But that pretty well does the video. But if you liked it, leave it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing and click that bell so you're notified for any future Q&As. We do one of them basically every month, and yeah, you guys come up with a lot of good stuff. But that's all I got for you again. But thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.